I'm recording this because I'm not sure what else to do with my nervous energy, although I was just asleep. I had nervous energy all day, yet tiredness, and I just got Poppy down to sleep. A little on the early side for her. It's just 9 o'clock right now. I fell asleep with her, I think, sometime around 8:30. But before I got her to sleep, I had been intending to do this because all day I've had nervous energy. Like, it should have been a pretty good day. I mean, it wasn't officially a bad day, but Paul didn't work. It was warm and sunny. We had Cody, um, and we took them. I had therapy in the morning, and then we took them to the farm to play. It was beautiful out, and that was a good experience. But except that Cody was really driving me up a wall. And usually when we go out somewhere like a park or whatever, he doesn't drive me up a wall. It's only at home that he does, here at this home. But, because he was driving Poppy crazy, and so she was like screaming at him and bossing him around and getting really frustrated with him. And I talked about this with my therapist this morning that, like, I don't know about this gig because, I mean, it ends next week, but then it could pick up again in August. But one of the one of the reasons I don't want to do it anymore is because I hate doing it, and so does Paul. But that doesn't seem like good enough reason because it is money. It's cash every week. Um, oh, pardon me. Cash every week. But another reason that has really been occurring to me more and more, that is a valid reason, is that I don't think that this setup is healthy and good for Poppy. I think it's too stressful for her. She says she loves him, and on the weekends she asks what he's doing, and she wishes that he could sleep over. So she has this belief that she loves him. I think she does, but the reality is, 40 hours a week with him is really hard on her, and it brings out this anger, and sometimes she's like pushing him. She screams at him. So my therapist really validated that, and she said, you could just tell that to his parents and just say, it's not good for Poppy. It's going in a direction that isn't good for her, and we just can't do this anymore. Um, Paul surprisingly wants to lie and say that we have other jobs lined up that pay better. I had to bring him back to earth, and I was like, well, we could say that I'm going to be looking for work that pays better, and therefore can't commit to caring for him. Um, that's not a lie. And he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was surprised that he was even going there because he doesn't lie much, and he doesn't like to make up bullshit excuses for people too bad at things. Um, but I think he has the same dread as I do of telling them because they're nice people and they've been really happy with us taking care of Cody, and we live around the corner and it's great for them. So, and they can't afford much. They can't afford much, and we are responsible people who aren't going to abuse him or do anything bad, and um, so they're getting a lot for their money with us. We take him on outings all the time and keep him active all day. So um, I see. It seems to be that Paul has the same feelings I do toward this child, and the same feelings about doing this job, which is for the kid like this surprising lack of love and bonding. Like You'd think, after we've been with him since the end of January, every day, every week, well, not weekends, but that we would click with him and bond, and he's irritating, and he's still irritating, and over time the irritation actually just gets worse. Because we feel trapped with him, and like even right today, even though there's only a week left, we're like, ugh, like it's hard to get through this. Like, oh, we still have another week. But of course, there's that dread of turning down a job and facing Paul's mom, like asking her for money while rejecting a job. It's so uncomfortable. I'm not even supposed to be working. I'm not supposed to be working. My psychiatrist doesn't even want me to look for a job right now. Which, God, I mean, I am a lot more stable than I was 6 months ago, but and I can interact with people in a normal way, like without pretending to be normal. Like I feel better most of the time, but I do still have extremely high anxiety that is debilitating. So I don't know. Oh yeah, I got denied Social Security, which is not a shocker because I've read that they deny 85% of applicants. So it's really all about the appeal process, and that's why I have lawyers. And um, the lawyers were nonplussed about this and just said, we're going to start working on the appeal. And in the appeal process, I guess I get to have a hearing with a judge and have a lawyer with me, tell my story, um, basically get to talk to a human being and have someone advocating for me as well. There's a much greater chance of winning in the appeal process. I guess a lot of people give up at this point because I just found out the appeal process is 12 to 18 months, which is unbelievable. Now this is really stressful for me because uh, I can't work while I'm applying for SSDI, unless it's cash jobs under the table off the books, which the Cody job is. So I it's just daunting. I don't have to do that much for the appeal. I just have to keep in contact with my lawyers about any changes in my medication or mental status, like if I have to go to the hospital or anything, and like I check in with them every month, and sometimes they send me paperwork. Actually, I do have some paperwork to do for them, but I don't know if I should keep pursuing it, or if I should. I mean, my doctor seriously told me not to work, just focus on getting better. But it's hard to focus on getting better when you don't have any money coming in. It's hard to get better when you're worried about money all the time. So, and I feel like getting a job, this is how I was last year. Getting a job will alleviate my terrible anxiety and bring money. Getting a job is the answer. And it still seems like the obvious answer. And I feel like I could run out and get a job like in a couple like within 2 weeks. I always get a job. If I get an interview, I usually get the job. Like I get rejections where I don't even get it to the interview stage. But once I get an interview, I've seldom not gotten a job because I'm so charming and articulate, I guess. And so, it's tempting. It's oh so tempting. And it's easy to get caregiver jobs. Well, actually, the last caregiver job was a really lengthy application process. Um, it was like, it was pretty in depth. I had multiple interviews. So maybe in New York State, caregiver jobs are not that easy to get. But yeah, retail, But then you get into retail, it's like low paying, and it's can be high stress. I mean, especially any kind of chain place, corporate chain. They have so many bullshit requirements, and it's amazing what they expect for you for what they pay, what they expect from you for what they pay. Retail in a smaller business, locally owned business, can be better, although it can be worse because when you're dealing with like perhaps a maniac for a boss, like an owner, it'd be hard to work for the actual owner of a business because often they're stressed out about their finances and every little thing affects them, and they can resent paying you, and so they can want to try to squeeze you like a lemon to get every last drop of work out of you. I've worked in independent businesses and corporate businesses though, and the climate in a corporate chain is worse. It's just potentially could be terrible with an independent business. So, I don't know what I'm going to say to my mother-in-law. Oh yeah, kind of what I was saying is that I can interact in a sane way. Um, so I imagine, I know this is majorly projecting, but I imagine her thinking, she seems fine. Why doesn't she just get a job? Why did she quit this job, the Cody job? Why am I paying you to stay at home? I have that fear about homeschooling. Um, Assuming that we are still financially semi-dependent on her next year, kindergarten year, and we're not send her to kindergarten. Why don't you get a job and send her to school? Why am I paying for you to be at home? Well, when she should be in school anyway. And it fills me with fear. It doesn't fill Paul with fear. He's not afraid of his mother. I don't know. Well, I guess that's about it. I hope this wasn't too boring. And please excuse all my yawns. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Good night.